why Visigoth is such a a likable character, is because I'm doing apologia for vampires.
I love vampires.
What's rolling well tonight?
Yep, that's this. But the next roll is gonna be crap.
20.
Bad.
6. Is that right? Unless it's a performance, and then it's great. Damn. 24. All right.
The chosen one.
I think we've got the chosen two. This is
Please
what I'll.
filtered out the best of the bad options.
Yeah, this pink one is not doing it tonight. Oh, there's a 17. There's a. Sorry. I'm back in the bag with you. This is how probability works.
Simple math.
Simple.
Right, right. Just the math. Maybe I'll actually roll my little.
These dice mean business.
Sarah on the bottom left. Has anybody heard? I'm sorry.
You have not heard from her.
No,
Proof of life.
she's been on, I think, for the
Here
last.
is my proof of life. Can you hear me now? Hey, I'm trying to get my camera to work, so bear with me, please. What?
Are you driving?
No, I got like 1 hour of sleep last night because I decided against driving on 1 hour sleep.
Smart.
Fair.
Come on, camera. What's your problem? Don't look at me like that, Ollie.
Okay.
Patient. We don't need guard duties. Go down. Yeah, go down.
Hit the tower rather than me being dangerous with the cords.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool. So seems like we should be good to start here shortly. So it looks like a V8 or something.
It
Like a
really-
BHG.
Yeah.
Actually making me thirsty for a V8.
Mhm.
Look like a V8.
Or Bloody Mary, one of the two. Yeah.
Did you say a V8?
Yeah,
A delightful
V8.
beverage?
Yeah, I love V8s.
You remember
Yes,
V8
sir.
Splash?
Hey, I got it to work. I'm gonna get my dice.
I love
Can
me
you
some
guys
V8.
hear all of us pretty well?
You hear us
Yes,
talking.
pretty well.
I can
What about
hear
you,
all
Joel?
of you.
Carly, you are fantastic.
I am close to the microphone.
The microphone, that explains it.
I am not close to it.
You are pretty good, Mark.
Yeah.
You're not fantastic, apparently. I think that you're
Like,
fantastic. I can
not
see you dead
bad.
on. I see your beautiful beard. It's looking fresh
Little-
today. It looks like you might have gotten a haircut. I can't tell. So handsome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And for all of those who are here in the flesh, you are more than welcome to a cinnamon roll, and there is frosting.
God damn it. I knew I really
Why
wanted
did
to
I
go
not
today
go?
for some.
Kidding.
Listen,
That was like craving something sweet.
There you go.
I expect that one of those will be saved for me at some point. I could just be hoping, but
I mean, any that you guys don't eat, Jill and I have to eat. So there's only so many we can eat in a week.
Yeah.
But next week they're probably gonna be pretty.
Depends how
rough.
fast you make it over to one.
We'll see. I think I'm supposed to see show on Wednesday, so barring catastrophe.
And the way the backyard is kind of like a little bit blurry and stuff in the corner. It makes it look like we have like a big expanse of like wilderness or something back there.
Yeah.
You do. I remember that one time that I ate a brownie of yours that I couldn't stop
What?
staring
What?
out there.
I think you're still muted. Muted.
I had a build,
Joel's not
computer
muted.
build, and they paid me with some of that and some cash.
Nice.
So that's straight from the distributors who give it or farm it out to the dispensaries. And whenever
Maybe
there's
I'm muting you.
Nice.
Ha, I am. That's what it is. All right.
there you go.
I've unmuted you, Joel.
Nope.
Why would you mute me ever?
Picky smoker. So.
We had some
Ow!
a couple of days ago, and it was really, really good. It's very clear upstairs, kind of mellow. So I think it was probably indica dominant, I guess.
That sounds great. Hey Evan, we see you.
Hello.
Through Discord
I
and
see and
also
hear
through
you
the
all.
cameras I've installed in your home.
Yeah.
Sound check. Can you hear us all right?
Yep, sound good.
Excellent.
And let us know if like noise from the windows right next to us, gets noisy or loud or distracting. We can always look at shutting some of them or something.
Yeah, man, tell your windows to quiet down.
Man, living on 112th is noisy.
Moving out or living in Newburgh, it is not noisy.
Yeah. So yeah, once Sarah returns, why don't we start with a little recap, courtesy of you good players.
I can still hear you guys. I am just giving the cats some food before they start eating me.
Okay. That makes sense.
Recapping.
Yeah, Haiku started gnawing on my foot, so I was like, all right, I guess it's time.
Usually they wait till after you die before they eat you.
I know, right? No, Haiku wants to jump the gun.
We decided to scry on the tree last time, and we saw that it was encased in green crackling energy, and that it was surrounded by like miles and miles and miles of swamp that were like the nasty rotted swamp. And there's like creatures in the swamp. They're like goblin-y things with like bubbly cysts. Probably that would like, I'm gonna guess those cysts are full of swamp rot goo. The Harbinger and the tree are in there. And we decided to head to the tree. But we're kind of going slow, so we get a little, or so Greg gets a day or two back. And then the Whispered Litany visited Xerox again. And that was scary.
Oh, that's right.
That's one word for it.
Family reunion time.
Mm-hmm. She did give us the hints. If we trust her, she did say that there's a place of power under the tree where the Bellstone crystals are.
Mm-hmm.
And which tracks with kind of what we know about ley lines. And then that might be the way to beat the rot. But she also said that the world will always end in darkness. She just doesn't think there's some other way.
I think she also inferred that if we were to go to that place of power it would come at a cost. I think to Gray potentially. I don't remember super clearly, but there was like an inference there.
Mm.
I didn't quite get that part,
Okay.
but I miss a lot of things.
Yeah, I didn't get that either, but that's possible.
We also have Vitaria, Togotots, and that evil abomination on Ainaru waiting for the gift to show up.
Yeah. Right. So Githra on the way to the mountain.
Is it explicitly stated that Vitaria is going to let us know when that happens and keep us posted? I'm hoping.
I would assume that that was the case.
Yeah.
We did make sure that she had sending and stuff.
And if not, Carly can write in her
I
book,
will.
which we all have signed.
Yeah,
Yup,
we Vitaria and Xerox is
Yeah,
on the
evil
mountain
abomination.
as well. And they will contact us when they make contact with the Gith. And let us know how that goes.
There was also the Shippy upgrade that was on the table.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah, y'all were working on that.
Never enough upgrades to Shippy, that's for sure.
Yeah.
This particular one would give us the ability to cast invisibility on Shippy and try to
Oh
approach
yeah,
undetected.
Yeah, I think
true.
can that happen while Shippy is flying? I forgot.
We're still in the mid. Like I don't think we've even finished a day of flight. We've just been like we were in the midst of trying to fly away when the whole
I don't
Mr.
know
Litany
either.
thing came about.
Oh, Joel's talking and I can't hear him.
Oh, we can hear him.
Stop muting
Yeah, we
me.
can hear him.
User volume was set to 0 for some reason.
Because she doesn't want to hear that. This is
Apparently.
after last episode. Nazira is very mad at Beep Boop.
Furious.
Beep Boop was being indignant and annoying the whole time.
Nazira appreciates Beep Boop's perspective.
And I yours. It's fun having someone in which there can be tension and arguments with.
That's true.
And yet we both want the same things.
Yeah, last session there was a bit of a quantum superposition of Shippy as you guys several times decided that you would start to leave, but then there were other things that had to have been done at Mount Ainaru. So there was a time where you were in both places, but it ended with Togotots and Vitaria being left at the mountain. And yes, I think you guys did explicitly say they would like report back when when with updates about the gift and their arrival and search and such. And you guys decided to forego any distraction and head straight for the Great Stump.
I have one more point of order to request confirmation on. Yeah. Gray did say that they were going to try to make the sad one stay on the mountain, and I just want to know where the sad one is.
He's still on the ship.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, I think we have him.
Sad one here, evil copy of Xerox there. We're good.
Evil copy of Xerox.
Yeah, so any other pieces that we want to recap? And let me know again, because we are now really just like several hours probably into your departure from Mount Ainaru, as your conversation and kind of just discussion about what's been going on and just sharing of some of your own doubts and fears about your teammates potentially, and some of your nervousness around some of your allies, particularly with Johan not being 100% sure you can all be trusted entirely. And that, and during all that period, at some point, some reference was made to the Whispered Litany, which prompted a response from her. And we ended with her, as reported by Xerox, vanishing from sight.
He's like the worst pen pal. You know?
It's like a prison pen pal.
Yeah. I don't know.
I guess we would just want to confirm if we want to do the invisibility on Shippy if we started that, and if Shippy can do that while flying.
Others that if we were to also take the Whispered Litany's word at face value about going to that source of power underneath the tree, then we're going to need to figure out how exactly to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a question. How do we get there?
I could swap out a spell.
I mean, you'll have rest before we get there, so.
Yeah, so I have a spell to locate. We gotta find it. Locate creature, it's not right.
That worked great, especially since Noose was going to meet us there.
Right.
Right?
I agree.
Yeah.
Can we scry on a location we've never seen before? Is that something you can do, Nazira?
I don't think so. No.
It's right on the tree though already.
Let me.
But can we scry under the tree?
I think you have to be familiar.
Yeah, that's true.
Let me double check.
And it's a big bellstone crystal underneath the tree, right?
Which we've seen other ones of those, haven't we? Or was that just other campaigns?
Nazira was not there.
Okay.
I think we've only seen one.
I have to be familiar with it, and it has to be on the same plane of existence. I don't know if just knowing about the Bellstone and its general location would work.
I mean, if Gray's the tree, and the tree's roots are growing near or in the Bellstone, then he's familiar with it, obviously.
I mean, it's worth a shot. I mean, just to pick it up and see if it works or not.
I mean, if nothing else, Gray could maybe didn't you turn into like a dirt eating creature or something?
Yeah, I mean, I could turn into an earth elemental and go down below, but I would be alone, and if there's something down there,
no way to get us there.
Yeah.
Remember also the how difficult it was to navigate the last time you were an earth elemental in a swamp.
Right.
Imagine from what you've seen, this might be even worse.
But I mean, if we're going under the tree, I would assume it's not swamp all the way down.
Oh, it's swamp all the way down.
It's just swamp rot.
I don't know. Diving through the swamp rot also does not sound great.
No.
That sounds like a real bad plan.
We could always fly around and see if we could find any cave systems. That's what led us to the last one, but I think it was a mine.
Maybe we could try to. How much detail can we get out of the Panopticon Atlas? Like, maybe we can look what it looks like on there.
Yeah, we can
look.
certainly magnify the area.
Take a look. See what you see.
How are the giants able to find it? They worshipped it or something, but they were able to find it somehow.
They were like given visions of where to go, but it was the Earthwalkers. There's only a few. They all tend to live underground, but there are a few chosen Earthwalkers, and those are sent, as one would figure, on the Earth and find spots of great balls of power.
And I think we had asked one if they wanted to join us, and they said no, if that's correct.
Yes. You have a good memory, Gray.
Yeah, well, this is Evan talking. Gray definitely has no idea.
And
I mean, can we get a hold of them and see if maybe they'd like to come out to see if they can locate this other bellstone?
I mean, from my understanding, their job is to stay with their tribe. Like,
Yeah,
the
I
next
think they
one
did not
is
want to join.
sent for somebody else to discover. DM, correct me if I'm wrong. Or just smile at me like that. That's cool too.
Oh, no correction needed from what I heard.
Haha!
Mizura, were you able to access the library now from Shippy, or is that just at the mountain?
No, we downloaded the library to Shippy, correct? Mark?
Yeah, as far as you know, yeah, I can't remember if you confirmed that or not. But you know,
I don't think I
Shippy
did.
was
I think I got
doing,
distracted.
yeah, Shippy was
No.
doing that, and that was kind of interrupted by the Samsaren's last efforts to transcend. So you're not sure if that process was completed.
All right, I'll see if we have the library.
I wonder if between that and the Panopticon Atlas, if there's information on tunnel systems or what kind of structures might be,
Under
just
the
what to
tree.
say around about the tree. Maybe there's information that we could get out of there if we have it.
Nope. Hey. What are you? Keep talking, please.
All right, I will take out the tablet and I will search for or use Shippy, whichever one. I don't know what the interface is for the library. And I will search through whatever we have gotten of the library for anything relating to the Great Tree, the World Tree.
And maybe the ley lines and where if there's anything.
Yeah, okay.
Can I help you with that?
Absolutely.
So it sounds like you're wanting to access the library?
I would like to access the library.
How would you like to do that?
Either through Shippy or through the tablet. I'll check the tablet first to see if it is accessible that way. I want to check both to see if it's which way is easiestly accessible.
Yeah. Which do you try first?
The tablet, because I probably have it on me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you oh, actually, Gray, do you have the tablet that the stone paper found, or does Nazira have it?
Nazira took it. I just have the book that it came with.
Okay.
Or Beep Boop, one of the two.
You pull the tablet out and you activate it. Quickly accessing the systems, you see it does not have access to the entire library, as it's not connected to the mountain or anything where it is now. So it has like some things on it that it's presumably accessed or stored locally or whatever, but does not have access to other things.
We'll say, Shippy. How much of the library did we manage to get?
We got all of it.
Excellent. How might I interface with the library?
It's inside me now.
All right, so I'll just talk to you then.
Can we hook up this tablet to Shippy and then maybe have a secondary?
Good idea.
Screen?
Is there a way to hook this tablet up to you, Shippy?
I bet you I can find a way to do that.
I'll hand it to Beep Boop.
It's not something I've done before, but I'd love to try.
It will cost 200 bells.
Start trying to connect it.
Yeah. But why don't you go ahead and give me one of your tool proficiencies as you continue working on some ancient tech here.
Let me pull up my character, which I should have done a while ago, but I will roll either way. Well, I rolled an 18, and it's probably a billion because I get like double proficiency, and that's 18 plus 12 is 30 plus whatever my intelligence is, which is 5, so 35.
Yeah, you very quickly. It's like basically hacking a similar process as Shippy uses to connect to the Atlas, and you very rapidly. I mean, within 10 minutes, have got Shippy connected to the tablet.
Ooh, like all of Shippy? What can I do from the tablet now? This is exciting.
Bring up a like piloting HUD.
I got it. It works.
Excellent.
I looked through and tried to find the library.
Yeah, you connect to like you have the tablet there, like the stone that just kind of with some illusory magic just manifests different like images and papers and records and such on itself. And you see that at one point there is like a new blinking symbol on its face that remains in between like changes of pages or documents or whatever you're looking for. And it's just like this little like simplistic like icon of like a boat with wings that are like flapping and like the whole boat's like moving gently in the wind, it seems.
I love that.
It's flapping gently in the breeze, did you say? I like that. I show it to Nazir. Nazir, look.
Oh. Do you think that means it's just like not connected to the array but to Shippy instead?
Your guess
That's so
is as good
inventive
as
that they
mine.
thought to put on an image for ship connection, which is, I'm assuming, what it is.
I made that image for myself.
Oh,
Shippy!
excellent.
Yay!
How creative of you.
Anytime you want to access my systems or the library, just go and press that button.
All right, I pressed the button.
It's like a new screen washes over the tablet, and you can see that there is like at the top like what looks to be like a diagram of Shippy. And you can see that there are like some details of some of the like even like the recent additions made to Shippy. Like there's like some highlighted elements around like the ballista on the deck, and you can see there's like glowing like complex like seeming like information toggles or buttons or like things about like around the crystalline heart of Shippy. And there's just like layers and layers of information throughout this thing. And as well, like there's like this other like panel that opens up and that shows like various other things. And among them are like just like readouts of Shippy's just general status, current speed, elevation, things like that, as well as like a connection to like it was just labeled like binary index, and you see that flashing for a moment, and it says Shippy's like it sounded like you were trying to get to the library or the files we downloaded from the library. You can find them right there.
But does it show how full Shippy's energy stores are? Because we haven't had a way to figure that out, and besides for seeing how hungry Gray has been.
It does.
How full are they?
There's a little graphic of like 5 lightning bolts, and they are. I think you guys. Oh man, I have some notes somewhere about your current fuel state, but I think you're like roughly like half full or something, or I think you put in some fuel recently, but so it's somewhere between like half and like full right now.
Okay.
We can confirm that later, but you're not in any danger of running out of fuel at the current moment. Plus, you just set in some reserves.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfect.
Look at all this information. This is delightful.
Well, get on into that library.
All right, we'll open up the library part of it. Evan, where did you go?
It must be off the call because it's sent to keep showing it some of these video drops. Wait a moment to see if he comes back. Just
Return.
like real life.
Real life.
Evan,
Yep.
how'd you leave? Evan, respond to us.
Lost.
I mean, this relates to Evan, but remind me what you guys had decided with Gray's reincarnation sickness. Were you guys going to wait out the full extent of it, or were you just going to wait till it gets down to like a -1 or 2?
Well, Shippy had said it was going to
Exactly.
take 2 days to get to where we wanted to be anyways, and I think we all decided that a -1 penalty was reasonable.
Not worth,
Yeah.
delaying.
Because if we were going to delay, we
That
might as
is-
well have just waited for the Gith anyways, so...
That is assuming we get the full rest of that second day and it's not interrupted.
That for sure is
Yeah.
exactly what's going to happen. The DM would never
Yeah.
interrupt our rest.
Never interrupt our rest.
His internet died, and he's working on it.
No.
Just like in real life.
Mhm.
Exactly.
As Ellis, warned you or reminded you, basically you don't know what awaits you exactly, and it surely won't go all exactly according to plan.
What does Ellis know? She is a hireling.
Ellis,
She's been
taught
with us
some
this long.
wisdom.
she
Father,
understands how
Eris's
this group works.
The mine is unionized. The people on this ship are not.
We union best on this ship.
Yeah, I mean, you basically hired your crew during the height of a party in your name at a bar where people were intoxicated and like easily manipulated.
Excellent. Very good.
Yep.
I see no
contracts
moral.
were signed. You took them off on your ship and sailed away.
I see nothing morally wrong with that.
I browned out for most of last night, and now I'm on a flying boat.
Yeah.
All right. There's no
Okay.
National Labor Bureau of Labor Relations or anything in the Free Cities, so
Not that I'm aware
just
of.
ask Philip.
Only in the Empire.
It's still a growing area of, for labor unions and contract.
Did you update us?
I will look at the library. Let's see if they have any virtual card catalogs. Oh, Mark left. Okay, I wasn't looking.
Yeah, what are you looking for in the library?
Keywords: great tree, world tree. Other synonyms for this tree that I can't think of because I'm tired.
Like something about the seed or of the world, or is that the new tree that? Or there's something about a seed, or is that something Gray has?
I think Gray's the seed.
Gray is the seed.
I think there's two things that like Gray's been kind of referred to as the seed, or like the bearer of the mantle, and also like the little flame by the rock.
Yeah.
Hey, there we go.
But yeah, like I think both Gray and something resting or still living at the heart or base of that tree has both have been called like the seed or things like that. But Gray has definitely been referred to by that sort of language.
Mm.
Yeah, and you guys when you guys were in the not the underworld, but the world below, among the roots and things, where this world is fighting an unceasing battle against the infection of the rot. When you guys were there to, protecting or helping the druids protect Gray, as Gray was weighed to be worthy or not of continuing on their path, willing and worthy of continuing on their path. Well, went so long in this train of thought, I forgot where I was going. What's the point to this?
We were talking about synonyms for the tree and Gray.
Yeah, and that, yeah, exactly, yeah. And the druids, some of the language they were using kind of made it seem like Gray was at that time was at a crossroads and would decide, and also it would be decided if Gray would continue to carry, the mantle of being the seed of rebirth of the tree. You understood in that time that if Gray had chosen to set that down, he could have, and it would have just passed on and would have experienced death and moving on like any other creature of nature and stuff. But it seemed that whatever Gray experienced resulted in Gray having chosen to continue, and also having been found worthy of continuing on his path, and continuing to have that, if there is like if the seed is like a metaphor, or a title, or a mantle, or something, Gray is still that, by whatever nature is, by whatever, by the concerns of nature, at least.
So I'll look up seed as well, sure.
Yeah.
In sort of conjunction with those other words I mentioned.
Beep-boop will be staring right over your shoulder the whole time.
Oh yeah,
if he could breathe, if he could breathe, he'd be breathing in your ear.
Perfect. Love it.
What's that file say?
I don't know yet.
Yeah, you find that there definitely, you find a number of like essays and like recorded speeches and stuff, and like notes and things on variously described as the world tree, the Gray tree, the tree among the stars, sometimes referred to as
Among the stars.
sometimes referred to as the druid's appendage, in a kind of dismissive way by these like arcanomancers and like highfalutin, arcanotechnicists in the library. Just kind of in that one, like in some of those things, you see that like there's definitely a huge amount of rivalry and like dismissiveness of nature magic from the arcanomancers and the people that became the Samsarans and were their colleagues in the greater world. There, you don't see too much of a reference.
I guess we can see who won.
Yeah, you don't see reference to the seed aside from like one person saying, like, one of these arcanomancers saying, like, the druids of the Emerald Enclave claim this is the anchor of the world. How do we not know that this is not some seed of some like invasion from the cosmos beyond? We need to be looking outward for our solutions, not to our past, not to ancient traditions, not to the rubbings and readings of intestines of these fools. Just like things like that.
Okay.
What about researching the Bellstone crystals? Or
but first, why don't you give me just with sorry to cut you off there, but regarding the tree, for any more specifics there, why don't you give me your first investigation check?
Okay. Beep boop, you're helping, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we both roll then, I think?
Investigation?
I really hope you rolled well.
Oh,
Yeah,
your
investigation.
hope
Right
is
now,
in
you're kind of
vain.
like even trying to find relevant information amid a glut of likely useless information.
rolled-
So
It's like a Google search, but all the results are AI garbage.
yeah, AI generated text. There's like you have to follow some thread way back to find out it's actually based on reality and not
Yep.
just.
I rolled 13.
I rolled 12, so slightly better
13,
than me.
You win some, you lose some.
Yep, true enough.
I'll say that with those roles, you don't find too much more that would be like really useful or pertinent to your current situation, other than what seems to be a confirmation from what amounts to be like surveyors, like a survey report of
Mhm.
potential like resources, both like mundane and arcane of various regions and of the bone waste. And like there's one that says like like while we couldn't, investigate the grounds personally, all manner of scrying and other arcane investigation suggests that the so-called world tree does reside upon a ley line node.
Mhm. All right. Well, it resides on the ley line, which I think we assumed already.
And I think you can, given what you have here, Nazira and Beep, you can infer that there, or even like find other reference to ley line nodes to be physically manifested, or the physical manifestation of ley line nodes. Their theory is that like bellstone, those like bellstone crystals are physical manifestations of ley line nodes, where magic is like like eddies or whirls of magic seem to be like concretized in the real world. These like bellstone crystals, and that like seems to be what the Whispered Litany was referring to.
I see. Interesting. I wonder if each of these materials are sort of the ley line of their given plane.
Hmm.
Nazira looks like phases out and looks lost in thought for a few minutes here.
When get close, Gray commune. Maybe find then.
That
Can't do from here.
is a very good job.
Could we then use the atlas
Oh yes.
to travel from one node to another? Is that is that something it can do? Like if we went to another node, could we somehow, that's not something it can do? We know that.
Possibly.
I feel
Let's
kind of fast we knew that from our early interactions with the atlas.
let's go look at the atlas and see what it has to say.
Gray, how close do you have to be to commune with nature?
Pretty close.
Excellent. Like close enough that you would be in danger?
3 mile
Oh, okay.
underground, like
Okay.
30 floor building.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Gray.
Gray help.
We'll get you there, dude. We'll get you there.
Let's go look at the atlas.
Yeah.
Shippy, is this transportation between nodes with the atlas possible? That Quilla was just discussing? Have you heard of that?
Not specifically, no.
Okay. Maybe I'm just mixing it up with all my hopes for the teleportation circles.
I would like to look into the Atlas and see if that is a possibility.
See if teleportation to the nodes is a possibility.
Between nodes, I believe.
Okay.
Like if it would act as a, having the Atlas would act as a object to take you to the right place.
Oh, that's a cool idea.
I'm still struggling to understand what exactly it is you're trying to invest or like trying to learn here, and by what means you're trying to learn it.
So I know how teleportation works.
Mm-hmm.
I know how the Atlas works.
Mm-hmm.
I don't entirely know how shipping works. Pula said that she recalls that you could use the Atlas to teleport between nodes. I think I recall something about the map being used with teleportation, but I don't know in which context. So I'm trying to see if that is an accurate or inaccurate statement.
Yeah, the map can be used to assist teleportation, and through the map's integration with Shippy, could be used to assist like even Shippy teleporting. But that it doesn't provide you, it doesn't have you don't have any information as far as I can remember that the ley line nodes, these crystalline bellstone construct naturally forming, it seems, constructs of bellstone crystal. I don't think you've heard that those like naturally have the capacity to like teleport between them.
Okay. Makes sense.
They're certainly all connected, and like the Atlas can like see them when you like look for them. It can like identify these ley line nodes.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't. Yeah.
What about? Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, in that case, let's zoom in on this ley line node where the tree is and see what we can see around it.
Yeah. Zooming in on the ley line node, like it seems to show what was revealed when you most recently scribed as like the most recently like provided information about that location, and without any additional like magic or scrying or anything can show that again as you zoom in closer. The scry was limited to a particular like limited area, so there's like this weird thing where you can see the on the map you can see this immense rotten stump. You can see the rot swamp around it for a huge distance, but there is a point where that ends, and there's a huge like forest displayed, which seems to be the previously most recent information about the locations around the Great Tree. But from what you've seen with your own eyes from your great fight, and from what you can kind of infer from what you saw through the scrying, there's no forest there.
Right. It's just all rot now.
Yeah, so you can kind of like it'll like re-show what you the most recent data, like most recent information about that space as you zoom in on it. But it won't show up-to-date information unless you like activate scry or something to reveal new information about places. Though again, as you like look around, you can see that the place that seemingly is directly underneath where Mount Ainaru is in space. The place, kind of, certainly west of where you are now in the Bone Waste, like that space seems to have like perhaps even like if not constantly, a regularly updated passive like scrying that's updating the Panopticon Atlas. And you notice also that there's a like an icon there where Mount Ainaru is. Like there's a symbol of Mount Ainaru, like this like upside down mountain, kind of like on the map. And there is a you think they're judging from like roughly where the kind of flow of and location of the other nodes, the ley line nodes, there should be one there, but it's not, and instead there is that Mount Ainaru symbol.
Okay. So the Ainaru node didn't get put onto Mount Ainaru.
Oh, it did.
way-
Yeah.
Oh, it did? Okay.
The Mount Ainaru, yeah, what you're kind of inferring from this is, and what it's displaying is that that node is, not in that location anymore and has been replaced by that symbol representing its like current state.
I
And
see. Okay.
like
Okay.
like node, like you can like diving deeper into the magic paper here. You can see that it's like there's like some note in there that you find through like several layers. It's like Mount Ainaru node integrated into Panopticon Atlas network, and there's just like this little thing, little information blurb there associated with that icon on the map.
Where in Ainaru is the node supposed to be?
You guys saw it with your own eye.
All right. All right.
It was integrated into the panel, like the control panel in the helm in the near the center of the mountain.
I
Yeah,
remember
the
that
helm's
place.
kind of like on top of this bellstone crystal.
So if the bellstone crystals are formed by kind of the ley lines being concentrated in a specific area, and you have those eddies that form, and it becomes a physical manifestation. And with the Panopticon Atlas, we know where that convergence should be underneath the tree. If we were at another like physical manifestation of Bellstone and we're able to interact with it, and we know generally where the other Bellstone crystal is, would we be able to teleport? Because we would have, in theory, like a physical component of that physical manifestation, and we know generally where the other manifestation.
It sounds like a lot like Carly's question. It's like it's not something you have proven, but I think it's something that's like an open question. Like you don't have evidence of that idea, but it seems to make some sense. Like magic's a little wibbly wobbly sometimes, but
I feel like it's a pretty solid theory, but it's also pretty high risk to teleport somewhere underground.
I mean, if we teleport right there instead of, it's pretty high risk to fly a ship right through Death Swamp.
Yeah, I think it's awfully high risk for, at least with Shippy. Probably high risk just for us too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
because we don't know where those tunnels, like how open it is, or we need to be real precise.
What does Gray think? I mean, his mission.
I get there, I look.
So maybe we stick to making Shippy invisible if we can, and then go in from above and try to, maybe we can scry a few times in the meantime, see if we can get a better feel for what our options are, if there's ways to get underground.
I think that's reasonable.
Well, fly on, Shippy, fly on.
How do we teach Shippy to cloak?
We feed him Bellstone, right?
And then teach him the spell?
Yeah.
Okay.
Teach him the spell or cast the spell on him?
You'll need to cast a spell on me for me to integrate, and in addition to the Bellstone, you'll need to cast a spell on me to help me integrate the systems appropriately and understand what will be required of me in the future.
Mm.
That feels doable while we're just otherwise fine.
How long does it take to get the right amount of Bellstone in you, Shippy? And like, I assume we have to do it after we feed you the Bellstone? As like Bellstone as preparatory work?
Not sure I understand the question, but once you throw in enough Bellstone in the hopper, I should have enough energy to generate regenerate some new systems.
Okay, so it's instant then.
It doesn't take a lot of time.
It doesn't take time to burn the Bellstone, but it'll sure take a little bit of time to generate the new systems. It's like growing a new limb. It'll be a little tender for a while too.
Do you know how long it will take?
I expect 1 to 2 days.
That's great
So
timing.
if we do it,
Let's
then maybe.
get started now.
Before we cast, or before we throw more Bellstone in there, can I attempt an experiment by using, I don't know how quite to do this. I know that if I use it enlarge, it helps a little bit, but can I like, oh wait, do I have that spell prepared? Yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't have that spell prepared. I know that if I use a higher level spell slot, it gives us more bang for our proverbial buck. But I don't have that spell, so it doesn't matter.
Fair enough.
Just do it.
Just go for it.
Did we want to use the raw bellstone or the refined bellstone that we picked up on Mount Inaru?
I think that was refined Zephyr.
Oh.
Yeah.
Chippy like it raw.
You did get some Bellstone rods, but those are just like, shaped and carved chunks of Bellstone. They're not specially treated.
They're not like denser or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just made for use.
Okay. Well, should we teach Shippy how to cloak?
Teach us.
I don't. You have the spell, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Fantastic.
Feed him Bellstone and you'll help him to do his thing.
Yeah, so deep in the bottom level of Shippy lies Shippy's self-harmonizing heart. And at its base is the multi-hopper thing that receives various sorts of keystones.
Mm.
Shippy, as you put in some of your Bellstone, you have one of you or multiple of you kind of like loading it in because it's my notes are on my laptop, which is now running all of our media here, so I don't have access to it. But I believe it's either like I think it's like 40,000 gold worth of Bellstone to upgrade Shippy.
I will give you that number.
I want to say, but it is in either case, it's a lot of material to pipe into shipping. It takes a while because like the hopper is only so large, and it's maybe like an hour-long process just to like with a chain of people working just to load it up and burn it away.
It's 40,000 to get him to know how to be invisible.
Just to know how to cloak an entire airship, Sarah. I want you to say those words again.
Just to know how to cloak an entire airship? Come on. So
Yes.
expensive. Is that the same price as a med bay?
Because the deal's getting worse all the time. Because Shippy is as the Bellstone's going in and you cast the spell. Shippy says to you, "Hi there. I'm not sure if I should call you a co-captain yet, Mr. Johann, but I have some bad news. To make my entire mass become invisible, it's going to be relying on a particular kind of energy, and that's going to be relying on a particular kind of keystone. It's something I've that you've had around you before."
I take out the Shadowfell chain.
Your friend's real sharp. That's just the stuff. It won't take a lot, just a few pounds. Just a taste.
We have to find a way to break it off.
Shippy, do you need help? Are you?
No, I feel great.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you need your fix in order to really grease the wheels and make this thing happen. Am I hearing that correctly?
Hey, you like eating every day. I don't get on your case.
That's right, Shippy. Beepoop, do you have? I think I've seen you like manipulate things before. Do you have a way to break off a few chains of this? Oh, we
I
also
could-
have the cold iron from the creature, right?
Which creature?
There was some sort of
Oh
bird.
shoot! Yeah, the from my Drake baby.
Yeah.
There is cold iron in his head. I don't know how much of it. I've never weighed it before, but I could look. And Mark, I think it was 10,000 golds worth of Bellstone to get each of the units that we've had previously, if I'm not mistaken. But 40,000 sounds great too. I just from the math that I did earlier.
Okay. Yeah. We'll go with whatever, roughly whatever, like different upgrades will have potentially different costs.
For sure. But also,
yeah, the stuff that you've done previously has been kind of a baseline.
happy.
No, I'm saying like 10,000, 15,000 maybe sounds great. But you guys have so much to cover this cost and more that it's something that I'm just like, I'll look at my notes and we can figure out between games.
Cool.
I think we wanted those. So.
Yeah, it's not going to like get you to a point where you have a critical stockpile shortage or something like that. So
inflation.
That's what teleport is for.
Yeah.
I'll go and look and see how much of that stone is in the Drake's head.
Yeah, the Drake corpse.
It's getting real stinky in this room.
You gotta let your necromancy project ripen for a while.
Did I hear this correctly? You have a Drake?
Well, it sort of. We were training them for a while.
I think you saw it. You met it because you were here right before we found the Darkstar Prince.
Oh, the thing that you murdered.
Yeah.
Which one?
Look.
Oh, it died under your care. Got it.
That was the madness of the Darkstar Prince. It
Yeah,
could have been any of us.
Fair. Okay.
I mean, you did help us get that out of the ground. You were part of the. I mean,
I just remember putting on a great show. I don't recall, actually excavating the Drake killing shard, but
neither here nor there.
Those slotties will go home with like priceless memories.
Introduce new ways, genres of music to the realms of chaos.
Yeah, so we'll see how much it weighs.
If the chain is easier, like I don't know if you have. I know you have.
I have so many other projects going on at this moment. I've been meaning to get rid of these bodies, so we might as well just go for it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, let's.
The weird bunch.
Dig into that brain.
I take it out and then I throw the rest of the corpse overboard because, gross.
Lands in some poor soul's house in the middle of the boat.
My bug food.
Grace's just been in here with his like maggots and stuff.
Oh.
I'm like plucking them all out.
Like a farm of bugs, graves, corpse. Finding the one of the many victims of the Darkstar Prince, you pull the shard of cold iron out of its, the soft palate of its skull, and it rips out with still a wet squelch even after its time beginning its decomposition. And you see that like the base of it that like went into the brain, like kind of like a tooth had like roots like that went even deeper, kind of like it bifurcated, like went even deeper into the thing. Like this thing like went like at least like an inch or two into the brain, like both of these little prongs. We like yank this thing out. You have about a pound and a half or so cold iron.
Chippy, will this do? And I stick it in the hopper.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah, they got your back, dude. And I'm gonna look on the
Finish
tablet
building
and
the
see what that
Bellstone,
does.
all set.
Can I see what that does on the tablet when I like put it in there? If I'm looking at Shippy's like.
Yeah. There's a new icon, like a indicator.
Yeah. Yeah, like you do see like there's like this new like it's a along like in the some menu that you see where you can like look at like the augmented oh my god, what are they called? Arbalest? Not Arbalest, the Chinese crossbows. Big crossbows. The
Oh,
big
yeah.
crossbow thing.
Perfect.
What's this?
Yeah,
I
thank you.
right away. I was like,
So it's like you can see like there's like a separate thing like because that's like one of the upgraded components of shipping. You can see that has like its own little like subsystems as well as like the Panopticon Atlas like integration has its own little like subsystem that you can look at. And there's like this one that's like kind of this like this symbol that's still like a roiling cloud that's just like folding into itself. It's not there's like lettering and stuff, but it's just like moving like meaningless symbols right now. But something is manifesting in this.
It's brewing.
Mm-hmm.
Keep up the good work.
Good job, Shippy.
Thanks. You guys load up the rest of the Bellstone, and I expect Shippy has some cooking to do.
cool. Okay. That should be knows them while we're flying. I think was it was today that we already scried once, right? And we each tried one, or you tried and then I got through. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What were you scrying on?
Well, I think you can only do it once every 24 hours. Isn't that right?
We scryed on the tree.
Yeah.
You scryed on the tree. Okay.
Oh, but only if it's a successful save. So I could scry again. Because I think it only saved against you.
That was the monster that I was scryed on.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So we could each scry on the tree and look.
I don't know that I have that prepared today.
Oh, okay. Well, I do, so I could scry. I want to scry on the tree and like start in. Can we look for anything that looks like some kind of way to get underground? Like I'll start looking around like near the base of the tree and then go out from there if I am able to and successful.
Yeah. Can you read the spell? So it's a save. Typically, if you're scrying against a creature, there would be a save.
Yeah. So
It's a charisma.
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
Yeah, you can see in here a particular creature you choose that is on the same plane of existence as you. So I guess would it be? Well, can I try to just ground the tree itself
Instead of targeting a
instead of the
creature,
harbinger?
it's at the very bottom.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
You're scrying the creature. Is your intent? I
Yeah.
just wanted to just double check that the save.
Yeah,
Other
target's doing a
things may be
wisdom saving
happening.
throw, which is modified by how well you know the target and the sort of physical connection you have to it.
Is there any particular part of the tree that you're trying to scry here? You said maybe around the roots.
Yeah, probably around the roots, like around the base of it, and like, yeah, just like knowing that there's this stump, like looking around, like the stump itself, and like if there's anything that looks like a hollow that might lead under or anything like that.
Give me a perception check with disadvantage.
Why disadvantage? Um, Perception is awesome. No, 7.
So
Oops.
your vision is pulled from your body for a moment, and you. Oh wait, no, this is your magic though, not the yeah. Your vision is pulled from your body for a moment, and you see for just a glimpse the room you're in on Shippy. They're like if you guys are down in the crystal room still, or up in the like kind of like captain's quarters kind of communal area, or wherever you are, you see that chamber and your companions gathered around you as you complete this magic. Vision zooms out from your body and then begins to plummet quickly to the location of the tree. You see the tree, what's left of it, quickly, growing into view, and your vision falls and falls towards the roots, but it begins to grow hazy, and you can like your eyes crossing too hard as you're like struggling to perceive, like to clearly see what this vision is showing you. Like it's just beginning to like hurt, like a screw driving into your mind. And you hear the voice of the Arbinger of the Rot. You can only look so long into the void before it begins to look back at you. Your vision dies.
Well, Harbinger saw me there that time. That was interesting. Kind of painful, like rubbing the side of my head.
Where was it located in perspective of the tree?
Did I tell that?
In what? What are you asking? You didn't see the Arbinger of the Rot. You
didn't see it. Okay. Never mind.
Ah, that's too bad.
Did you try to get a top-down view of the tree?
We could try. Well, except for, did the spell fail? Did they make their wisdom save from what I could tell? Okay.
You know that something resisted that magic.
Yeah. Okay. So I can't do it again for 24 hours. So probably the data we have on the Panopticon is our best information right now.
True. True.
Cool. You there?
You messaged me and said BRB.
How you guys feel about a quick 5?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Good to me.
Sounds good.
Cinnamon roll.
Go for it. Feel free to use the microwave to warm it up. Relatively recently mixed drink here for stuff. Plates in the middle one, and the forks and knives just below it. Oh, okay. Put your both dogs.
Josh? Yeah. So far so good.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that's something no, a little like aberrations. There's like a bunch of jobs that like end up being cheap for one race for another. And I'm like, I don't want to jinx it, but it's actually good. It's good.
Honeymoon phase is always one.
Yeah. Just a little nervous about finding out about yeah.
You sure?
My job not being students.
I don't know.
I think it's so good. That's right.
What is?
My like apprehension on like, yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's like, it won't be as good as it might seem. Like, no job ever is. But
You know,
doesn't mean it's going to be terrible.
like the degree that it's gonna be, yeah, like what's the degree of frustration are we talking about? We'll see. So far, it's been pretty good.
We used our new oven's automatic shut-off feature for those.
Oh yeah.
So they're maybe a little bit more done than they would be otherwise.
Okay.
No, that's good.
It's really, I mean, I hate, Michelle and I both hate how, like, the panel on the new oven is like all digital and stuff.
Mhm.
I don't know why we didn't notice that when we bought it. And everything beeps and it's annoying as hell. But it has some really nice features.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
just
cool.
wish the interface were different.
Yeah,
Like automatic shut off when the oven's done, so you don't accidentally leave it on for a long
God.
time. Like,
that's cool.
pretty nice.
Sorry about that, Al. I had to help put a baby to sleep.
Happens. Those babes.
Joel, we decided we're taking a 5-minute break while you're gone. Let us know if you ever come back, and we'll tell you that we're taking a 5-minute break.
Okay, let's all take a 3-minute break, and then I'll take a 2-minute break, and then we'll have 5 minutes.
Excellent.
Oh damn, we didn't do the clap then.
Oh yeah.
Ah. I hope somebody clapped in. Are you recording this, Joel?
Yes.
I mean, not like this moment right now, but like the session.
Yes.
Cool.
Excellent.
Should I add a clock? What'd I miss?
I don't know.
You missed
I tried to scry, it didn't
Yeah.
work.
the scry not
Okay.
working. I think that was about it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we got there, and then
Mark gave all of us a Vorpal sword. Not
A
you.
horrible weapon of your choice.
Yep.
ooh, that's lovely. That's very nice of you. You're such a generous DM.
Every enemy also got a roll.
Yep. That damn wish spell.
It's dangerous. It's dangerous. No matter what I do, it is so challenging not to stare at my own camera when I'm on a video call. It's so frustrating. Just see it moving in the corner of my eye, and I'm like, stop staring at the camera. Look at the big camera.
Look at the right part.
Yeah.
Assuming you guys survive, what's up? What's after the rot for the big help gang? Man, so many
I-
options, things that you're fixing in the world.
I
The
say
broken world.
we do the original mission of freeing Bellerophon from his mighty little home, but I mean, I'm hoping that they can do their own thing and finish off what they need to do. But I don't know.
Bellerophon's been waiting for so long.
Yeah. My hope of all hopes is that the Gith do their thing by themselves.
Oh man.
Apparently, there's a secret conversation happening.
I know. Now I really want to know what that's about.
I want to be in the room where it happens, the room where it happens, the room where it happens.
I knew it. Johan's a traitor.
I know.
He's been sent here to spy and destroy us.
We never did really question his allegiance.
I mean, a god sent him to us. Clearly, he's nothing but good.
He has been talking bad shit about the big help game lately. Well, maybe not talking shit, just pointing out her flaws.
I mean, if there was any hint of a lie in those things that he has said, he's gonna make us look good when he writes a song about us, let me tell you. Maybe
Let's hope so.
we need to find a PR firm for the Big Help Gang.
Yeah.
I mean, Gray's done a pretty good job of improving his own PR.
Yeah.
Just got to do something heroic and make an excellent Christmas save.
Spy, 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 Carly, spy!
I'll try to listen right on the door.
Yeah, just accidentally have your phone fall outside.
Whoops, why is it recording? I don't know.
Oh, it's on Discord? I didn't realize.
Yeah, with Commune with Nature, I could find minerals, influence from other planes of existence. So I could look for those, which would probably help me find the ley line for the Bellstone if it's within 300 feet from the surface.
Okay.
But outside of that, within 3 miles of me, I could see other stuff as well. Virulent plants, animals or people, powerful celestials, fae, fiends, elementals, or undead.
You can find the rot.
Possibly. It doesn't really call out. It's an abjuration, right? Or no, it's a abomination? No. What is it? Abjuration. I think.
Yeah, I think abjuration was right.
But if it's being influenced from some other plane of existence, that'll point it out also, possibly.
Oh man. I am looking forward to another fight with this devilly creature.
I was really looking into anti-life shell, and I'm like, ooh, maybe this will be awesome, and then it totally sucks.
I thought that was a good spell.
It is. It's just extremely situational, because things could still hit you while you're inside of it. So you'll have to make Constitution saving throws.
Ah. Need the Warcaster feat.
Yeah, it's honestly on my list of things to pick up, but it's like one of the last things I grab. Maybe I'll have to pick it up sooner, since I'm going more into Druid and becoming more of a caster.
Which spell?
Anti-life shell.
Oh, dang.
It's not that great though. There's like weird rules about it also. Like if I got into like the mouth of a cave where I could be out of sight, it would be ideal because nothing outside of undead or constructs could enter. But if they have line of sight, they'll have to make Constitution saving throws each time they hit me. But it would be great for like it's just super situational, like a lot of spells.
Yeah, I wonder how that would like pair up with like Johan's fog cloud.
Hmm. That would actually be pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Even with disadvantage attacks, I think this thing could still wreck us.
Yeah.
It's like first people don't see this refreshing thing.
Yeah.
A sign of the yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. It's like the zero. Which is
It's our ancestors like 10,000 years ago, like learning like, oh, these particular birds are flight again. So they're all around me. Winter is coming again. Now like, the beer. Beautiful.
If we want to waste 1,000 gold, we could do Hero's Feast. Any creature that partakes of the feast gains several benefits. The creature is cured of all diseases and poison, becomes immune to poison and being frightened, and makes all wisdom saving throws with advantage. Its hit point maximum also is increased by 2d10, and it gains the same number of hit points. And it lasts for 24 hours, but it costs 1,000 gold and a level 6 spell slot.
We have 1,000 gold to spare.
I mean, that's like nothing for you guys right now.
I don't know how much gold we have.
It's on the blockchain.
I only know how much Bellstone we have.
I could go find it. I think we have. Well, let me see.
1,000 gold with a bellstone. It's all the same. Assuming that Nazir didn't spend all our gold on spells.
Yes. Nazira secretly teleported herself to a magic shop. You're muted, Sarah. The one time Nazira will violate all her principles and like will be to go buy spells from a magic shop and then go and build a
Absolutely.
building.
Yep, 100%. If they have nice spells, you know.
They're the best magics.
Well, we just used another 100 pounds of Bellstone, so.
Guys, there was an earthquake in Seattle.
Oh, really? When?
A bad one?
No, it's only a 4, but at 7:30ish.
Oh, it's gonna come this way.
Oh wow!
I know.
Last time there was an earthquake up north, it hit like pretty decently here.
Really?
I mean, I think I was in the 6th grade when it happened, and it was a little bit south of Seattle.
Yeah.
It was like in not Puyallup, somewhere near there.
Cascadia's getting ready to blow.
I mean, listen, we're all just gonna die eventually. There's
we have...
If not that, then by the
the rapture is coming soon, or I think I remember seeing this in a movie back with my entire church when I was a child. Left Behind.
You Left Behind.
Oh, yeah.
I read that in a book.
Yeah, my Left Behind cosplay will finally get some new souls.
There was a. So I think you grew up, relatively Christian. I think we may have talked about this a little bit.
Very much.
I'm the only one.
Yeah, Evan's the odd man out. And there was one time when we were like, were you here in the tech group for the Florida Man bit that we were doing?
I don't think so.
That was epic hilarious.
It's from the Bible.
Oh my
It
god.
was so funny. It was like, and Evan said a hilarious thing. It was like, he said, what did you say when like the one time you regretted not being from a Christian family?
But I got to learn a whole bunch of really crazy ass stories from the Bible.
Yeah, we were going at it for a while. That was fun. All right.
Sarah, did you say you were picking up Sunbeam?
I have it. I have it
Okay.
memorized already.
But do you have it prepared?
I have it. Yeah, that's what I mean. But I use the old school terminology.
Yeah, fair.
Do we D&D?
Memorize it for the day.
Thaco.
No, we don't need to do this. It never worked out. Just come here to that. Lay down. Sometimes Pesha will sleep out here, and we'll go to bed at the couch looking normal and everything. And then we'll wake up and like all these cushions are like just scattered all over the couch and stuff. And she's trying to get comfortable, failed, and then gone back to her bed on the floor. Because it never works, Pesha.
Remy does that once in a while, like with my bed, like I'll be gone at work all day or something, and I'll come home and
Dig in
like
there.
my comforter, blankets, pillows, sometimes even, or just everything's on the floor. I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
what the hell?
it sounds very familiar. It's like having kids.
Yeah, just like
We got,
no.
we got the house like in pristine shape. Usually
It's a
on
bad idea when
Sundays.
there are kids
Yeah.
around. Just a bad
Monday
idea.
morning. It's like,
Like
how did you
that.
guys even swing this during the morning routine? There's like couch pillows everywhere. It's like it looks like a bomb went off. It's the best.
You have no semblance of privacy anymore.
Yeah, we've been doing something called maintenance cleaning, which has really turned the game around for us. So it's a winning franchise now. So they come home and they just do easy breezy lemon squeezy maintenance cleaning for like 15 minutes, like pick up the pillows that you
Oh,
decided to hit each
yeah.
other with this morning and stuff like
Can you
that.
train me how to do that?
You can't train
could,
cats.
I could use some maintenance cleaning.
Maintenance cleaning.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you wanted to train your cats.
No, me. I am a total mess.
It's
I
so
put
hard.
things down and I forget that they're there and I never see them again until.
Yeah.
There's a deficit cleaning.
Yeah. Goodness gracious. It's tough being alive.
Really
It
is.
is. It is. I
We all
clean
are-
in piles. I put everything in piles.
I
Yeah.
know,
That
it's dealing
pile
with
is
it all.
clean because it's not
Yep,
everywhere else.
It is. Exactly.
Yeah, then you have a clean pile that will be the clean pile for a while until it is transformed at some point to be the new dirty pile, and that will be cleaned at some point.
Yep. Basically, that's
The
it.
new clean pile will be born.
That's exactly why I
Yeah.
stopped folding clothes. We hang clothes
Yep.
now because we hang clothes or we throw them in a drawer because
There you go.
otherwise they are in a pile that is clean.
Yeah, maintenance cleaning, it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Sarah and I's parents were terrible at getting us to clean. They tried
No.
so many schemes and they all failed.
Mostly the schemes were yelling though.
Most of the schemes were yelling, and then a half-hearted like print off of like a chores chart with
Oh,
like a
yeah.
potential bribe associated with it, and like
And then
"Hey,
nothing for a
that's not
couple
good
weeks,
thing."
and then you'd cycle
Yeah.
back to yelling.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you have like a printout to yell about. Like, we agreed that this printout would be followed, and now I can wave it angrily.
Yeah, this contract was fucking binding.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the ADHD people forget that it even exists.
Yeah.
All right. Just watching through your life with like, yeah, just constantly.
Pep in your step
Yeah.
and just the best daydreams in the world.
Yep.
Oh, goodness.
Fully routine, and yet, oh, I didn't eat today.
All right. Fantastic. Yeah, just like walk by like the same like mess. It's like giving you just like the mildest like psychic inconvenience, but then it's just like, oh, that's gone now. I've moved on, so it doesn't. It's not a problem. You go by it again and again and again, and it.
My mom used to
Yep.
make me make my bed every morning, which I found infuriating.
God,
My
yeah.
mom tried that
I'm not-
and it didn't stick.
Why? Like,
I
just go on leaving.
Like, I feel like ideologically am opposed to making my bed in the
Well,
morning.
makes no sense. I'm not there to enjoy any of the benefits of a made bed. Making it and then I gotta go. Like, why would I do that? The empty house isn't gonna care.
Yeah.
I do pull my cover over everything because I don't like my dog
That's fair.
to get under the
Mm.
covers.
Yeah,
My
makes
own.
sense.
So like everything's gotta be pulled up high.
Mhm.
Let's end. All right, that's enough Patreon bonus content for one episode. We gotta stay.
It comes for our DM carpool.
Yeah, DM
Yeah.
Fantastic. The business model is coming along.
Who wants to do the ad spot this week?
It's like either NordVPN or a sex toy company. Those are like the two options, right?
You get stamps.com and it's always bed brands that they want to ship you shit.
This episode brought to you by Maintenance Cleaning. If your kids little shits about cleaning, make them clean up small chunks at a time with Maintenance Cleaning.
We'll never know what hit them.
If you buy the whole system today, we'll get you 10% off.
It is $59.99.
With our code Big Help.
Oh, we're getting so good. We could actually start doing this.
That was a great ad read, everybody. Well done. Not even a script.
All right, make sure you clip that so we can send that to the
Yep.
people that want to give us money.
It's on there.
Ad flyers.
Includes beta access to the app.
Okay, we're flying there. We're flying. We're
Mhm.
teaching shippy stuff.
Mhm.
You're
Also,
shippy stuff and you're flying.
while we're flying there
Yeah.
and other people are doing things, can I continue my work on trying to get this not tablet thing working?
That's
The apparition
it's so
projection.
then like save the audio and then types it through. You froze there for a second, but so you want to look into. I'm sorry, I got distracted by the features of digital experience.
My apparition
real
projection machine. I want to continue trying to work on it.
I'm sorry, your what projection machine?
Apparition projection machine.
The communication device.
If that's what it is, sure. I got it off of the thing, and one of the Samsarian told me what it was, and I wrote it down, and that's about all I got.
There were a few things that you guys found. There was one that you found that was I believe this is the one. So correct me if I'm wrong. There was one device that you got that you learned could be used for communication even across planes.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds like I believe this is the device you're referring to here.
I believe so.
You can absolutely work on that while you while away the hours as Shippy continues flying to your destination.
I would also, if possible, would like to find a gem encrusted bowl worth at least 1,000 gold that I may find along the way.
Just on Shippy somewhere?
Well, I mean, like we fly over a town, stop.
Look.
In the bone waves.
Fabricate. We have gems. Could beep boop put gems together and fabricate a bowl?
Let me just reset the scene as you guys are flying through the very upper atmosphere of the world. Because you guys are at such a high elevation that you're flying down mostly to get to the tree right now. So any switch to go to a village or something would be first spying the tiniest of villages below you and then taking what amounts to a pretty significant detour. So if it's something that you really, really want to find, you can certainly try. But just that's the situation.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think Sarah's right. I mean, we got enough gems, and I'm sure Beep Boop has a hot glue gun, and we
I
could just
have
glue some gems
a
onto it.
fabricate spell for dang sure. I could
Yeah,
create a gem encrusted bowl for you at
yeah.
a moment's notice.
Then I will definitely pick up the spell.
Absolutely. Yeah, just we can say that Bellstone is fueling your magic here. So we'll just consume an equivalent amount of Bellstone for the components of this spell. Normally, as we kind of talked about, like a spell like this does require that specific item when it's that that specific about a component cost. But through the combined magics and Beep Boop, creating this, you can totally bypass that through a little extra work. But if your spell also has any component costs, go and burn those with Bellstone as well. Beep Boop.
I am taking away 1,000 gold off the blockchain. 10,275 is what we're at.
I've confirmed that it's gone.
Do you have the Bellstone number handy right now?
10,275.
No, for Bellstone. That's our gold.
Oh, that's our gold. Okay, never mind.
Yes, I do have that handy for you. Give me 1 second. Oh, my spell doesn't have any components other than the stuff I put into it. We have 474 pounds of gold because I took off 100 because of the invisibility, but I could also take off more for invisibility because I think we haven't settled. Yeah, 474.
Bellstone?
Yeah, that's how much Bellstone. At 100 gold a piece, so that's 47,000 golds worth.
What? Cool.
I can push up my glasses now.
So smart looking.
Feels so good.
Are they new?
Yeah, I've gotten older and see things closer for shit.
I always just assume that people always wear contact lenses until I see them with glasses. I'm like, I knew it. I guess Gray has 10 pounds of Bellstone on him.
Damn.
Which is like most of his weight. Okay, I have picked up Hero's Feast, so that'll be helpful, at least for the not being able to fear us. That'll be a game changer. I only have a level 6 and a level 7 spell slot, and I have 4 level 6 spells. Cool.
Don't worry about it.
In the timeline right now, you still have, I think, like a full day before you even get to your destination. So if that affects your plan for when you cast a spell, feel free to modify.
Yeah, maybe wait till we're close.
Mark. While we're waiting around on the ship before the second day, before I sleep that night, can I cast Demiplane?
Can you cast Demiplane? We've talked about Demiplane a few times. Remind me some of the context here.
So, all right. You create a shadowy door on a flat surface that you can see within range. The door is large enough to allow medium creatures to pass through unhindered. When open, the door leads to a demiplane that appears to be an empty room 30 feet in each direction, made of wood or stone. When the spell ends, the door disappears. Any creatures or objects inside the demiplane remains trapped there as the door disappears from the other side. Each time you cast a spell, you can create a new demiplane, or have the shadowy door connect to a demiplane you already created with the previous casting of the spell. Additionally, if you know the nature and contents of a demiplane created by another creature casting this spell, you can have the shadowy door connect to its demiplane instead. I know that we Vitari and I had a demi-plane. I want to check it out, and I wanted to check it out for a while, but I haven't done it because I was like, I should wait for Mark to get it ready. So if you're not, if you want it to be later, that's fine. But I also kind of want to see if like it moves with Shippy or if it stays in one place.
Like if you set the door in like a wall and shipping.
Oh, I guess it would be in a wall. Yeah, you're right. Never mind. That would move with Shippy.
But
I
if
was
you can,
thinking I
just
just
use
like
any wall?
what?
You could just anytime you need to cast it, can't you use any wall, or is it a specific wall that you're using at the same
No,
time?
you can use any flat surface.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
It's okay if
not
we do it later. I just like
Yeah, this is one of those spells that it's helpful if I have a little bit of heads up.
Sure.
Especially if there is an ongoing thing that we've discussed that you want
Okay.
to look at.
I kept meaning to talk to you about it again.
Yeah.
And kept forgetting, so.
Yeah, I just don't want to fail to do justice to significant
Absolutely.
character.
All right. I don't have plane shift memorized anyway.
Wait, you don't have plane shift memorized anyway?
Oh, so like if you go into the demi-plane and the door closes after 1 hour, you can use plane shift to get back to where you were.
Gotcha. You can get trapped in your own demi-plane?
You could if you don't have plane shift, but then you just sleep.
Man.
But what if you don't have your spell book with you? Then you're in trouble.
Yeah.
That would be bad.
Folly of wizards.
Indeed.
Oh, wizards get trapped places.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah. Shipping continues churning away at the Beltstone loaded up, and seems to be continuing the process of developing this new system, this new ability. Some time passes and Beep-boop, you're working on the apparition projection device. Go and give me a tinkering tool or a tinkering check, please.
Yep. 21.
The device in its partially repaired state, because this is one of the ones I believe you found in that repair room with the living furniture and tree.
Yep, and I'm using all my fancy tools on it.
Yeah. This device, like it seemed like at this point it had as you're like testing it out and like examining different components in there, it seems like it was at a state, very fortunately, that the broken or parts that needed replacement had been replaced. It just hadn't been completely like all the rewiring stuff done to hook up these new components. So as you're testing different elements, it seems like what this device needs is here. It's just a matter of figuring out how to, sew up the pieces. And you just begin like you're in this like state where your mind is just like in the flow, where you are, as your mind is like almost like as much a part of this device as you are in yourself, as your hands just kind of like almost move without thinking as you like assemble different like tiny components and begin get at your tools to make just the finest adjustments to this Arcanotech device. When you hear a voice.
Oh.
Commander Togitots, or Commander Beep-boop, Togitots reporting. Nazira has told me to deliver the message, or Victoria has told me to deliver the message because she does not trust the Gith Yankee. to be left in my my domain. They are pleased with their ability to search for the deep mine, but have not yet found it. They have confirmed it is moving. They are confounded as it seems to be moving in more than one place at once. They seek to resolve this conundrum with Lataria's aid. I watch for deception. I am ever ready to deliver punishment if they betray us. Togatots out.
Good old Togatots.
Togatots?
I didn't realize you could respond. Hello.
Hi. Thanks for the heads up. What do you mean it's moving in multiple locations at the same time?
They are using something called psychic inference, and it is unable to identify a specific location, instead finding two on the move at the same time. What this means for us, they are not sure, or so they claim.
Be trusting, Togatots, be trusting. Is that abomination still there? Did they buy it? The clone of Xerox.
Did they buy it?
Did they buy that? That's actually Xerox.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. I totally forgot you left the copy.
Simulacrum. The Xerox. I said Xerox is Xerox.
Yes, I totally forgot about Xerox is Xerox. Thank you. Yes, they found a worthy foe worthy of respect and nothing more.
Okay. Thanks for keeping me posted. Man, it's weird having people talk in your head. Okay, thanks.
You are welcome, Commander.
I will run and tell everybody that there are two of them. There are two of them. They're deep mines.
Actually,
Wait,
two,
there's
or is it
two
just
deep
seem like
mines?
one? Or like seem like a confusion of themselves.
It does seem like they're confused as to why they're tracking two moving, and I think it's a matter of figuring out which one is which.
Like which one is real?
I would hope. Otherwise, two deep mines would mean lots of trouble for us. Gray, you look confused.
Yeah, just new news.
Cool.
I mean, it doesn't really affect us currently, but it's not good to know.
I mean, at least we know they're there, and they think that fake thing is Xerox, and Vitaria is being helpful. Carry on, everyone.
I have something to discuss. So we have a problem with.
We have many.
We do. With Ashemavoka and her siblings, and that their power or their souls, I'm not sure, can jump into other individuals of the same bloodline, is from what I understand. Is that what everyone understands as well?
Yeah, I didn't really think about it, but yeah, that makes sense.
I haven't thought about that. All I know is that she has multiple bodies.
Yeah, and I believe that when we fought her the first time, the information we gathered revealed that she was using different bodies, these relations who had been transformed into cambions. Mark, correct me if that's wrong or if my memory is faulty.
Well, repeat specifically what you said there.
I said the Whispered Litany and her siblings, as from what we know, it seems that they or their power can jump from into other prepared like relations. So like other children who have gone through the ritual and make that new person the Whispered Litany or whatever.
Yeah.
That was my understanding back with when we were fighting her in the Temple of Ilmater.
Like if they've gone through convocation, then she can use them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that with your previous encounters with the Whispered Litany, like beneath Ketten and stuff, you found that there were those other people who were basically like thralls to her that had like just like this infernal script in their skin and stuff. I think you at this point, like you think that those were specially prepared vessels that the Whispered Litany could jump between.
Okay.
You very much assume at this point that they're of the Gwengold bloodline, that they were, available to be made use because of that fact.
And I believe that's how she escaped us.
Yep. She left one vessel and fled to another that you didn't know where it was, and she got away and left just a husk.
So she like was her did we kill her body, or did she just jump it?
I can't recall exactly if she jumped it before you destroyed the body, or if you destroyed the body and
then she jumped it.
Somewhere along in that process she escaped. But she's certainly still around. But to what Harley said specifically, you're not sure if it's exactly the convocation ritual itself that prepares them for such a thing, or if this is an even more specialized, like reserved, like inventory of bodies for the Whispered Litany's use. Yeah.
Because convocation may just be like sworn into their service, basically. Like
Yeah.
in a more general sense.
Mm-hmm. And if Xerox were here to be a part of this conversation, like you would, probably talk about a little bit about like, obviously the blood magic has to have some limitations, because otherwise, what's preventing the Whispered Litany from just possessing Xerox at any point while you guys are asleep and just butchering you all? Like that has not happened. So like either, Xerox's particular protection, but Xerox doesn't have that protection forever. Or there needs to be some additional, like, not just blood relation or familial relation, but some sort of consecration or magic that has to go into, preparing them for different uses by the Imperium, it seems, or by, Constance and the Shemadai.
And now, Beep Boop, I believe you had a spell you wanted to try to protect us from unwanted lookers on.
Yeah, but after last time, I mean, I'll still try it and cast it tonight, but I don't know that it's gonna have any good effect. She seems to be able to get through a lot.
Could you cast it now, and we could have Xerox stand outside of it?
Yeah. I'll cast it on like it's 100 feet square or 100-foot space. So I'm gonna cast it in my little space on Shippy, which is like in the midst of the belly of Shippy.
All right, everyone, come with me.
So you guys, Exclude Xerox.
Yeah, excluding Xerox.
Okay.
Because
Mhm.
my presumption, and this will prevent someone from listening in, like if they're within earshot but not inside, right?
Yes. When I cast the spell, I can decide sound can't pass through the barrier. The barrier is warded. Area appears dark and foggy, preventing people to look inside of it. Sensors created by divination spells can't appear inside of it. And creatures in the area can't be targeted by divination spells. Nothing can teleport in and out of it, and planar travel is blocked.
All right. My concern is this. If we are able to slay the Litany or one of her siblings, and they can just simply jump to another body, there will be no end to this continual revolving door of bodies. I have been working on a spell that has the potential to trap their soul at the point of death.
Sounds sick.
Like it would keep them in the body that they're in, so we can actually kill them.
It would keep them in a cage that I create.
Okay.
You have
Like
some
a cage
very
full of
strange, powerful spells.
I take all the NPC spells. It will also allow us to do additional things such as question it, I believe. Yes. So it will have uses beyond that, but it might. My hope is that it will prevent the power from jumping from another to another individual. But I wanted to make sure everyone was morally okay with this.
I look
Because
over to Johan.
it was a gray area.
My area.
No, your area. Now, if you say you question the soul a certain number of times, it will be released. To move on to its afterlife. But if we can trap these, that will deprive a Shemidai of his power and give us the ability to deal with the actual threat of the Gwengold Imperium.
Okay.
It really sounds worth a shot. I mean, it seems like we're dealing with a great level of evil that it may take something that severe to stop.
The spell is called Soul Cage, Mark. Okay. All right. As long as we're all on the same page, I just wanted to make sure. Except unfortunately, we can't include Xerox in this conversation because if we did, they would overhear us and then it would make the whole thing moot.
We'll find out tonight when Xerox is in there and we try to talk to the Whispered Litany again.
That's true. Of course, she could just stay silent and let us think that she's being successful, that we're being successful.
Oh, don't worry, I have a way of dragging her out.
All right.
She loves me.
I can tell a very close bond has developed.
I hate that woman. And this little space will stay for the next 24 hours.
All right, I'm taking Soul Trap.
Soul
Or Soul
Cage.
Cage. Soul Cage, sorry. If she can still access Xerox while this is up, I do have the ability to make a pocket dimension, which we could use to sleep in. And I don't think that her ability would cross planes.
You might want to study some blood magic and see if that might be true, because I don't know what the fuck it can and can't do at this point.
That's true. Neither do I. I'm making assumptions. Actually, good point, Beep Boop. I'm gonna look up the library blood magic.
Awesome.
Hemocraft.
Yep, there we go.
Hemomancy. Yeah. One of my favorite parts about this this game that we're playing and like the Arcanotech stuff is like there's so much just like common and ancient language and stuff. It's just like it's opened up floodgates to just like making up any bullshit like Latin Greek combo word you want. Just go like common. It's how it sounds like common as a result of all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, sorry. Hemomancy, absolutely. Yeah, so you're gonna look through the library for notes on that.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead and give me another investigation check.
All right. Investigation?
Yeah, unless you have an argument for a better skill to be involved in trying to look through a great database that is not well organized at this moment.
I think my my investigation is pretty good anyway, so I think it's fine. 30.
30. Wow.
I can no longer just add 10, and it's now 11.
You see that there are extensive notes as you look through for humancy, for blood magic, for blood rituals, blood pacts, things like this. You see that a huge number of them are quickly kind of categorizable as devil magic, as related to like bonds and oaths and things taken with various devils and things. There is something in here that you read about called soul binding, which seems to be like a similar sort of magic. But there is a smaller subset of bits of information like little like notes, books, journals, things like this, written by all these sort of canomancers from ages long past. Even like a number of like like doctoral, effectively like what amount to like doctoral theses for like student mages and stuff like this and whatnot. There's one that you find that is some like something effective like through the translation it's like ruminations on would be like ruminations on the crude and ancient techniques of blood magic. And there's information in this book that it seems to be there's as much reliable like information and research data as there is just dealing with broad like assumptions of their time, it seems, in this book. But there's some elements in here that you find particularly of note. One being that blood magic is is specifically referred to as magic practiced based on the connection, the confounding connection between familial, the familial relations between people. That blood magic is not merely just the manipulation of some power in the blood or something, but is more specifically a magic that pulls on these like ties between familial relations. And so like you can't like cast blood magic on someone you're not related to specifically. You can't like, it doesn't let you dominate people in the same way that like other magics do, or even some of that like soul binding magic that they're talking about, which can be used in a more general sense. But hemomancy and blood magic is specifically used like well intrafamilially, I think is what you would say. And that it is a strange sort of magic that they say that its usefulness is minimal. This author is saying its usefulness is minimal in the modern cosmopolitan world where so much of our power is drawn from the masses of people who have just slivers of power themselves. But this familial magic, if a dynasty were ever established, it would give them magic over our power or access over all descendants of that dynasty in ways that could subvert or work around things like other magics. Because it would be because like the connection of this blood magic makes it such that the person casting the magic, for example, like trying to scry on someone who was affected, was familiar related in this way, they would be effectively casting it on themselves through blood magic and allowing the connection of the blood magic to reveal it. So it like subverts or eludes a lot of traditional protections of magic.
I see.
It is what the notes say that like while its uses may be minimal, it is extremely difficult to defend against. And the ending conclusion of this person, a Van Tresanis, is that any arcanomancer should take careful and studious efforts to understand and prune their familial tree in light dangers.
Okay.
These fucks were evil.
Indeed.
I will gladly prune Xerox's familial tree.
It does
All
seem that it
15
will be
is-
particularly difficult to protect against. Sorry, Mark, what were you going to say?
I just made a joke about all 15 of her siblings.
I'll leave the killing of children to the Imperium. I was specifically thinking of one member of the Familia. You hear that whispered litany?
If she has this power over Xerox, it stands to reason that perhaps her siblings do as well, which is troublesome.
We know you're there, Constance. Come on, Constance. You want to talk?
Do you think, Nazir, there's any way for Xerox to exploit that connection back? I mean, I know Xerox doesn't really delve into magic.
That is an interesting question.
Because if it flows two ways.
That's true. We could scry on Xerox and then through that connection scry on the litany or others.
Oh.
Would the spell that Beep Boop casts every morning prevent that from happening?
That's affecting the mind and not so much the blood. So,
Yeah.
Well,
and if the
let me see.
other things anyway, then I'm just wondering if there's a way for Xerox to use this to gain insights.
Very good question.
Or like information or something.
It could be dangerous though.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And even sharing the idea with Xerox
Would tip them off
risks
that we know.
exposing, risks exposing our plans.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Unless she's distracted with something else.
Do we have it?
Maybe.
Do we understand that the Whisper Lily is like scrying on Xerox and not in her head?
I believe so.
So
Well, I don't know.
you could send messages to Xerox's head to tell them what we know that
That's true.
they
We should
might
try
not
that.
see, since you have
Yeah.
a sending book.
Yeah, I can write short messages to Xerox to explain it.
Try it.
So we do have maybe a way to communicate with Xerox.
That's a good idea. Okay.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
I'm ready to hit some things.
I have
Let's
like
see.
some ideas of things to do, but I also have a -3 to any rolls that I make, so it's kind of like no point.
You're waiting, yeah. Understandable.
It's been almost a day. You're almost to -2.
Yeah.
Yay! There's like stupid things I could do, like spells I could pick up, but nothing really great to do for protection. But I really think that this Hero's Feast is going to be huge to not be able to get feared by this thing.
I concur.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
I mean, if it worked for Critical Role, it'll work for us, right?
Obviously.
Do they use it?
Oh, the EA use it all the time.
I think yeah, why don't I send while we're in here and Xerox is just out and about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's come up with a message that I will send to Xerox at some point.
Actually, I don't think you can send it while you're in here to out there.
Okay.
But
Right, that's fair.
We need to
But
develop a cipher.
yeah, maybe we decide what we're
ooh,
gonna say.
spit some
Yeah,
sweet
we need
lines.
to-
Mm-hmm.
That's a
can-
good idea.
Yeah, we can create a cipher for the message and give the cipher like key over to Xerox and then send the message encrypted so that they can figure it out.
Yeah.
The one weak point is if Xerox's mind has been invaded and that knowledge is gained, like that cipher key knowledge of him, then it's
Mm-hmm.
not too much good.
That's true.
But if it's like a surprise situation or something in kind of the middle, then it should work.
We
It
should
needs to
do
be
a test.
cipher that's easy enough for Xerox to unravel mentally, so they don't
Mhm.
have to like write it or put it
Mhm.
anywhere visible.
And Beep Boop, you said you knew you would be able to craft a message to draw the litany out.
I mean, how annoying does it need to be? Yeah.
Yes.
Talking about doing that after the tree, right? Not
Yeah, oh please,
right
after
now.
the tree.
Yeah, we
like,
can do
not
it
right
after
now.
the
Let's...
tree. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
In the
look at
meantime,
that.
I'll continue searching for methods for Xerox to use to see if we can subvert this ability. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if we want to give the cipher a try, I have one
Okay.
that the band uses to kind of communicate with each other. if the scene is getting really rowdy with whatever show we're throwing, and we need to kind of speak coded with each other, we employ a cipher. So we could try something similar here.
Excellent. Yeah.
Are we sure we need a cipher? Because I mean, like, I think you might be right. That might be a good extra layer of security. But if we're speaking directly into Xerox's head, I mean, it's either gonna work or we're boned, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Like, I guess the cipher would mean Xerox could speak back without
Facebook wants to look at the
because
cipher.
his reply is auditory.
Mhm.
So the cipher would be good for him to speak back. Yeah, okay.
Let's do it.
Right? Yeah. Take whatever cipher you have and send Xerox a short message with it.
I think I would use the Elder Tone Enigma cipher for this.
That's a cipher.
Classic
Enigma
cipher.
Oh, love it. Is this something that you need to provide to Xerox beforehand?
The cipher key would need to be provided to Xerox beforehand. Yeah. So I could develop that.
And then
So
send it through the message maybe. Use the sending stuff.
Okay.
I'll prepare it in here when we're in a safe space. And then I'll
Part of the test is here to see if Whispered Litany has access to like Xerox's mind or just physical like perception and stuff.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Cool. How do you guys go about it? Sounds like you got some loose ideas. Let's tie them together and present it to me in a nice little bow.
So Johan's gonna come up with a cipher, and then I will use sending to write it over into Xerox's head, and just ask him to remember the key. Tell him that this is the key to a cipher, so we can speak in code to him. To her.
Yeah, I was the wrong.
I know. I'm sorry. Sorry, Xerox. Yeah.
Yeah. And you get a reply from Xerox says sounds good. Go ahead. And takes the cipher.
Yeah. So I'll leave our little circle when I'm casting it or whatever, or sending it. So I don't think I can send it from inside our secure space. But yeah, I will send the cipher over to Xerox. And let Xerox know that I can send it. I'll send it like a handful of times today when it's quiet, so you can really internalize it. And then if you can just let me know once you feel like you've got it.
Yeah.
I want to try to remember this and lock it in.
It takes like Xerox, definitely requires like a couple, repeats of this and like tests to see if it's working right. But eventually with a little bit of time, has it down.
I'll just send Xerox lots of fun little messages like, your axe is really cool, your feet stink, just general camaraderie messages.
Prune your family tree.
Use that axe. Yeah.
Fantastic. They continue responding to your messages and stuff, and like checking in with the cipher. They're Xerox is seemingly like pretty well got it down.
Okay.
This is all still in that first day. You still have like another half day of journey after the end of this day that we're still currently on. But it is getting later and later as the day progresses, as it normally does. Yeah. Xerox seems to be primed and ready for any test or message that you want to do here. Xerox says that I wish I had been faster picking this up. The whispered litany has been listening in on this. They may know Tahan. And may have, even this communication may have been enough to warn them. I don't know how we can test this with surety.
I'll just message back that this is a risk that I think we're gonna have to take, or at least to try. But yes, it's not 100% secure.
The, I'll lean it. No, I'll just say, I'll ask Quilla to send a message to Xerox asking if Xerox feels like the Whispered Litany has access to her mind or not.
Sure. Like, yeah, I'll just follow that up with like, do you think it has access to your mind? Do you have any evidence of that?
Xerox says that I can't be sure, but when she has tried to hurt me, her face has had anticipation and expectation on it. She wants to know if she's successful, I think, and does not necessarily.
Doesn't necessarily know.
Mm.
So that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's looking for your physical response. All right, right back. She can see you speaking the cipher though, so she'll know we're talking somehow. So we should try to be discreet about it if we can.
Well, this has all been message, right?
Yeah, I guess it is sending spell. So they don't have the receiver.
Oh yeah, they have to like
verbal.
whisper.
There's a verbal component.
Yeah, there
When
is.
they reply, it's verbal.
Yeah, that's why using the cipher
Yeah.
as we're speaking. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, awesome. Gray, what are you up to during this time?
I guess it does just say they can answer
Mhm.
in a like manner. So however that, I guess it does have a verbal component.
Gray's partially taking it easy, partially kind of like walking around the ship, like punching the air, kind of practicing for the upcoming fight. Occasionally walking by Ellipses' room and saying, "Kill yourself. Die."
Jesus Christ.
Great.
No one's
Holy
looking. No one
shit.
knows he's doing this.
That doesn't make it right,
No.
Ellipses.
Weak.
Yeah, Ellipses, you can hear Ellipses murmuring to himself inside in response to these jabs. Do you listen closely enough to hear?
No, he doesn't want any part of the rot.
Fair enough. Some expression and response is solicited from Ellipses, but it is left to the walls of Ellipses' room, shut and closed with the door as it is.
But yeah, he's still pretty tired from the resurrection, so he's taking it pretty easy.
Just getting the essentials done today.
The minor bullying of our most depressed companion.
Yeah, great. You hear a message from a familiar voice. One from Volcreek. One of the people in Volcreek that seem to accept you very readily and help support the whole idea of Gray being a helper. Philip O'Mallon, priest of the Church of Gond.
Oh. Hi, Philip.
You hear Philip's familiar voice come through some magic. And he says to you, I hope you are well. There has been an incident at Ordura. We have also heard you have added a member to your group.
I died too. Came back.
The message continues with no indication of your response being registered. They are not to be trusted.
Told you couldn't trust that Xerox clone.
I can't talk back, can I?
It seems to be a message spell. It seems like you can. There is a shift in the magic as if it's receptive, waiting for something.
Mini new friend. Ellipses? Johann? New bug? Who bad?
Ask Johann.
Okay.
Where they were. Okay. Where they were on the sundered sky.
Wait, say that again?
Ask Johann where they were on the day of the sundered sky. They are a murderer. A survivor is here.
Okay, I ask. He in good company. We murder too. Okay, love, bye. I think Gray will go to big words because he really doesn't understand anything he's just been told. And
Hello, Gray.
hello. Head speak.
Okay.
Let's
What say?
no trust Johann.
Oh, interesting.
Uh,
Why?
Sunder's sky. Ask him.
Ask him Sundered Sky.
He's
Okay.
murderer. Like us.
All right. Shippy, can I send a sending through you to everyone in the group? At least all of our party. So I don't have to send three.
But no, you can't.
Okay. All right. I'll go around manually to everyone. Bring us all back to the sanctum.
Not true. Johann saved me. Or try. Not murder.
We'll find out. And let's see here. I do not have. You're lucky today. I didn't take detect thoughts.
You don't hear all of it, but you hear at some point the voice of Gray just echo around a corner up the stairs, and you hear, "You are not murderer."
Okay. Who's around me right now?
Where are you?
After we had the cipher conversation, I wanted to take a moment to kind of explore Shippy a little bit. So I'm kind of exploring Shippy, getting used to the layout, trying to see like where stuff is, just getting familiar with the area.
Yeah. The place that you're like most unfamiliar up to this point has been kind of like the lower depths where, Shippy's, its brain is this organic crystal, ever changing, and this constantly chaotic internal space. This thing is quite strange, and you can see that like it's the center of this huge apparatus that has all these like cables and things like winding away from it, and into the walls and shipping. It's strange. And you start like following cables and seeing where they go, and like seeing like how is this thing connected? Like what does this shit do? And like trying to figure, just kind of letting your curiosity take over. You find like this lower, one of the rooms. The ship is mostly empty. Like it's with all of you guys on the ship and the limited, like 4-person, crew you have. It is the most like skeleton crew ship like this could have if it were actually powered by wind and constant effort of tightening sails and pulling ropes and such. But like Shippy's so autonomous that it can operate with virtually nobody on board. But so just all that to say, there's a lot of space, a lot of rooms that are largely unused since the big health gang has taken over Shippy, aside from a brief period holding thousands and thousands of birds, which are all now dead and having been shoveled off the edge of the ship. But you see that there's quite a bit of space. This ship was, from what you look around and see, like put to probably many different uses in its lifetime. You can see that the ship is ancient and storied, just in like the wear of its wood and timbers and such. And you are down in the lower decks, following one of the cables of Shippy, and you see that it goes down to the very bottom, like center bilge area of the vessel, which is like not even a full level, but just like the very lowest portion of the ship that isn't even, it's like a small space, but it's not even standing room or anything down there. But you can see down there in the very very, very bottom of the ship where there is that Shippy has this long bladed fork of adamantine, like tuning fork blade that extends from the front of it that runs down the full keel of the ship. Something down here that like it looks like it can extend out. Like the tuning fork at the bottom of Shippy seems like it's made to be able to extend out even further below the ship if it needed to. You don't really know what that means, but like you see that there's some like some heavy like cabling and stuff like going to this is this essential magical function of this ship, it seems like. But you're not really sure what that means.
Okay.
And like when you're kind of in there, like your curiosity is just letting you kind of just feeding that, and that's when you hear Gray's voice.
Okay. I think I'm gonna use having heard what Gray shared. I think it's time for me to get and kind of an update out to Megan. So somewhat serendipitously, I'm gonna use sending, and I'm gonna use the Tempest cipher to send a coded message out to Magnan. This is what it says.
Oh. Oh, wow. You want to text me that too?
Yeah, sure.
I might as well text me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
don't know. I can.
Oh God,
Maybe, but
this makes so much more sense after last time. You.
Um.
I'm not there yet. I can't be mad yet.
And then, so if, well, you know what I could do? Let me send. I'll send it. I'll post it in Discord. I can't do like the voice version of it, but at least I can like send if someone
Nice.
was within their shot, what they would have heard. So just the encrypted text.
yeah, absolutely.
Encrypted version.
Um,
How would you even
and
say that?
and once that's done, I think I'm going to cast glibness. Just kind of preparing for a conversation.
Yeah. Fantastic.
And then I'm gonna just start kind of wandering my way out of where I am and kind of still kind of observe the surroundings and learn what I can kind of with the purpose of just walking towards what I know is going to be a weird conversation.
Yeah, yeah. Just moving there, not like with aggression, but just moving there because like that's where things are gonna happen. Might as well get it over
Yeah.
with. But not yeah, awesome. So
I don't know if
near Zira, you are continuing conversation. You don't know that this happened, but you hear soon in moments you can feel free to drop in a line before this, but you hear what you anticipate being with such a small crew, it's easy to keep track of people, but you hear what you anticipate being Johan coming back upstairs in your direction.
Okay. Would you come to the private sanctum? I think we have a little more to discuss. Gray got a message. And I've asked Quilla and Beepoop to come too, I guess, by now. And I guess Gray's with me?
Oh yeah, I'm sure Gray would be following.
I mean,
Yeah, sure.
I don't want necessarily the litany to listen in.
Xerox
we're not telling
responds
Xerox?
in the cipher as like she's like still figuring it out. Like, I get it. I'll be up top.
No, stay near us, but outside of the.
It's like so around the heart of Shippy, like that big ever-changing Morphus is pretty much where Beepoop has set up his room, and that's where this is. Like,
Okay.
it pretty much takes up the bulk of that space of the ship. So there's no like, you can't really be on this level without being in it.
Okay. All right. Never mind. All right. Everyone assembled?
Beepoop is
Gray-
tinkering away on his
Gray
job.
has received a message with some accusations. I do not know. Do you know who it was from, Gray? That
What's
is
his name?
significant.
Father.
How would Gray say? I think Philip O'Malley. Okay, Philip O'Malley.
Oman.
Priest Oman. Priest of Gond, I believe.
Where's
correct
that?
O'Malley.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know,
Yeah.
Oman, O'Malley,
Well,
same thing.
I thought you were doing like how Gray would remember it. And I thought it was a joke.
Nope. I just couldn't remember it myself. He, from what I understand, what was the word? Oh, he said a keyword in relation to Johann. This relates to Johann. I'm sorry, I should have started with that. He had some accusations for you. He said a key word, which was sundered sky.
Oh,
And he accused you of being a murderer.
wow.
I would like to ask what this is in reference to.
And 1 second, can I cast detect magic just to try to see if there's anything unusual in the room or on our friend? Can I tell? With
Yeah.
detect magic?
You see the arcane protections in this space, securing it from perception from beyond. And you see a lingering magic coming from Johann.
What's this, Johan?
This magic?
Yeah.
Well, to be truthful with you, heard the accusation. And this conversation is very uncomfortable for me. It's something that I like to share with close, trusted people and don't really appreciate having dragged out so publicly. Um, so what you're seeing is just a way to calm my nerves in preparation of a hard conversation.
Insight check.
Insight versus deception or persuasion.
Does Peep Poop is also watching this conversation and would like to know whether or not he speaks the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You may also make an insight check.
25.
26.
Oh, shit.
Body's goodness.
Irrelevant numbers rolled.
I think the most important thing for me is to know whether or not we can trust you.
Yeah.
So
That's essentially why I wanted to have this conversation and wanted everyone involved.
Gray not think you murderer. Gray see you save or try.
Yes, we haven't had a reason to distrust you yet, so I don't think.
And as you've intentionally pointed out, our history is complex as well. There are two sides
Absolutely.
of the story or more.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I sharing stories through song, evoking emotions, evoking memories. These are a really important part of my craft. But to have a group of people try to draw my personal sordid history out in public in a group setting doesn't necessarily endear one to sharing information. So what is the purpose of this conversation? What is your desired outcome?
Well, I think as Nazira said, we've trusted you as an ally. We want to know, if someone we trust says that we shouldn't, we want to know your side of that. And just
I don't think if you're uncomfortable, I don't think you need to necessarily go into specifics. Just that you're not a spy working for the Gwengold or something like that.
Philip
Which
not
is
lie.
ironic, I know.
Yeah, could you imagine being so close to someone who's associated with the Gwengold? That would, wow.
I know it's that. But
I'm
we
saying
are.
that
She's standing right there.
the company that you roll with, an actual Gwengold, a connection to the Whispered Litany, all of these things don't necessarily inspire a lot of trust, and yet you're asking it of me.
Gray slaughter
I mean,
whole villages. So many die. Gray kill. Gray okay. Not always bad.
Killing is not okay, especially.
But can be good. Be bad once, say sorry, then be good. Are you good?
I'm making amends.
Gray make amends.
Does everyone feel all right about that?
Making amends for?
I don't want to just wait to the end and do another insight to check if that's allowed, to just see if I believe him after the initial. But I kind of bought the first bit at least. Okay, but I'm still like trying to decide it, how much I believe the rest.
I mean, what do you know of the Sundered Sky and of Vithar?
That
Our
was
history.
that's my question. What is? I don't know what that means.
Absolutely nothing.
I don't think. Do I know anything about the Sundered Sky?
Yeah.
The only person here that would have even like a chance of grabbing onto this historical piece is Quilla.
Yeah.
All
do I know-
right.
the history of
History
that?
check.
Okay.
I'll say with advantage because your family has had its ear to the rumblings and goings on of all sorts of things.
That's not terrific. 16.
Plus 6.
Plus
Oh,
6?
flash of insight.
What?
Ooh.
Yeah, plus 6 for
I'm asking if that's just a hopeful goal you have.
Flash of genius.
So an extra 6. So
Yep.
3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh
Okay,
wait, plus 5.
yeah.
Sorry, plus 5. Sorry, 5.
Thank you.
5.
Still a substantial increase.
Mhm.
Yeah. You and your family, like you have this knowledge not personally, but just of your familial and history of your family's companies and such, and their dealings. Vithar was a long time ago a huge trading partner with the free cities and their uh in their new state of having been like cleansed of the undead and stuff, thanks to the Gwengold Imperium's crusades. So much trade, so much prosperity opened up, so much communication. And one of those things was communication with Vitnar, which was like unofficially one of the free cities. Like in those, like as it was always considered like one of those cities, like had been like a city that survived effectively a siege of the undead for who knows how many hundreds of years, and was on the receiving end, at least initially, of the benefit of the Imperium coming through with a righteous crusade to slay the undead. The problems with Vithar came as the Imperium began some years ago, decades ago, began to assert itself and try and like control more directly the free cities. There came to be a conflict there where they had effectively besieged Vithar for quite some time, having like cut off the city and having been trying to claim it for the Imperium, all the while escalating tensions on the border with the free cities. Eventually, that was broken, kind of that growing siege of the priesthood was broken by Ordura, and some of the other efforts. That's right here. Yeah. That's the one I want. The Ordura and the people of Bazand, with Ordura destroying a huge amount of geography just to kill a bunch of Green Gold Imperium soldiers, and the people of Bazan, with the assistance of Ordura, destroying a huge amount of the navy of the Imperium that had like kind of established some amount of control in this region and stuff, and really set the stage for the free cities to be actually free and like have their name and stuff, and like be kind of collectively called for the free cities and stand as kind of this separate entity from the Imperium and its expansion and such. Unfortunately, all of that came at the cost of Vithar. Vithar, when all like the free cities were establishing, some amount of like legal peace and treaties with the Imperium, Vithar was left out of that. The city that had bared the brunt of the Imperium's siege and their war machine most directly, and had hoped to be a part of that peace, was left out and eventually fell to the Imperium. It has never set comfortably within the Imperium. And you've heard that there's been quite a bit of internal conflict and rumblings within Bithar. You've heard that some 15, 20 years ago, maybe, something happened there. Things came to a head. There were anti-imperialist or empire or Gwyngold elements within the city. But it seems from what you recall or what you've heard that they amounted to little more than increasing the immiseration of the people of Ithar. Their violence, indiscriminate and breathtaking in its disregard for the people of Bithar, for any like constructive peace or change, and merely an instrument of destruction, it seemed. What happened in Bithar with that roll on that day, the day of the Sun and Sky, was the culmination of that before the Imperium really cracked down.
And this was 10 to 15 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Or 15 to 20 or something?
Yeah, I think about probably 15 years ago. That brought huge amounts of destruction upon the city, on Imperium occupation and the people of Bithar as well. It absolutely disrupted all, like, from what your family remembers, like all the like nascent trade and stuff that was like keeping that city alive and like keeping those people fed. It's still a city recovering from a siege lasting decades, that they still require, like imports of food and like all those sorts of things. When that happened, when the Sundered Sky happened, something horrific happened in Bithar, and the Imperium cracked down hard in response. That city, it was years before like trade started with that city again.
Mm-hmm. How old is your boy? Just, or like roughly?
About they're 42.
Okay. Mm-hmm. We'll just say, like, I've always heard stories about the Sunrise Sky. I know the free cities haven't always done right by the Thar.
Haven't always done right.
I'm not trying to split hairs.
You pull me into a private sanctum for some unknown goal to see if I'm trustworthy, when I still am evaluating if this group is trustworthy. I have a past. Vithar has a past. We remember, we resist.
Mm-hmm.
Sundered Sky is not an event that's easy to talk to, especially when it's not on one's terms.
Okay.
And especially from people who did not look out for Vithar.
I mean, I'd probably be upset too. And I can't say that I know where you're coming from with all this. But somebody who's been an ally to us said something, and we know you're still working on trusting us. And we also want to trust you. We have been trusting you. And I don't want whatever this is to break down the bigger parts of what we're trying to accomplish.
And what is it that you're trying to accomplish?
Well, in the moment, trying to save the world from this rot situation. Definitely think we're trying to get rid of whatever is going on with the Imperium. I mean, there's something bigger than all of us at play there. And I think that I don't think any city should be forced to deal with the Imperium the way that Ithar has. It's not something that I can speak to with a lot of experience. Stories that, I mean, are from my childhood, really. But I do think, I mean, it sounds complicated, and I don't think I would want to judge anybody who was there without hearing more of what happened. And I don't know. What our ally said is worrying, but we also have had no other reason to doubt that you are aligned with us on some of these things. So we're just trying to, or I at least am trying to just, and I think like Gray said, trying to understand a little more of the situation. I understand being defensive about it or being upset, but I would like this to be an opportunity to just be open as much as you can. But if you can't, I don't know exactly where that leaves us, and I kind of look at everybody, but I also sort of get that.
Our goals are aligned as long as we're trying to uproot the Imperium. Sundered Sky is an event, is a painful lesson about thinking before taking action and understanding who it is that you work with and building trust with those people.
Mhm.
Misplaced trust, rushing headlong into action, impacts the lives of the guilty and the innocent, the Imperium, the free cities, bystanders. Sundered Sky was a time in my people's history where forces of elemental destruction laid waste to the families and livelihood of the people that lived there. I don't take any pride in what I tried to do to set my people free. And I work to make amends and to right those wrongs. And that's all I really feel comfortable sharing with you.
Johan, I apologize for putting you in such an uncomfortable position. The reason I chose to do this was because I felt that it's better to have everything in the open than to have us each keeping secrets from each other. I think that if there's anything you want to ask us as well, feel free to do so.
You keep an ally around who's very clearly connected by unknown means. And I don't know what to make of that, and don't know what to make of this group who seems to hop from goal to goal, thing to thing, and keeps company with dangerous connections.
As he keeps mentioning what he thinks to be Xerox in his statements, Beep Boop gets a little bit more frustrated and becomes more imposing. Be careful who you talk about, my friend.
Xerix has been our friend for a long time, and some of us have been through things with her that'll, I think, give us a strong sense of her real loyalties. This connection is much more recent.
We learned about it for the first time when you did.
Without
And rest is
Xerox, they're no Gray.
Or me.
I think Xerox has stood in the line against death for each of us.
And
would again and again.
Blood magic is definitely troubling, and this connection is very concerning. But I also think it's very much against Xerox's will or wishes or interests. She's probably the last person who wants this connection.
Very true.
I understand your skepticism, because that is a stressful situation, foremost for her. And troubling and frustrating at times for our goals.
Absolutely. Now we have to think of everything in terms of like what Xerox can hear and what the litany might be overhearing. We no longer have the freedom of free expression on our own vessel.
Gray walks up and pats Johan on the thigh. Gray still trust. You friend, and like kind of gives your leg a hug.
Thanks, buddy. And Johan picks off a couple bugs that have the armor.
Yeah.
Just drops him back on Gray.
Really good. Okay, everybody in the room.
For now.
I'm satisfied.
Ellis steps forward. He's like,
Where the fuck did you come from?
You said all crew, come on in, except for Xerox. I just think that it might be helpful if, for the purpose of building trust, if we all just expressed some of the things that maybe, the skeletons are in a closet, things that we know might cause people to distrust us. If we just express like where we came from, what our background is. We've been talking a lot about the idea of trust, but we haven't really told each other where we've each come from. If I'll be frank, me and the other crew members have come along on this ship, on this journey, based on a lot of trust about what the Big Help Gang is about. And I'll call you co-captain Johan. I'll just take that step as a symbol of trust. Some of the things that co-captain Johan has said just kind of remind me that the excitement that kind of brought us all together, there are going to be times when that excitement wanes. And we should really focus on trying to build some honesty and some more long-lasting connections between us. It seemed like this whispered litany lady. She sounds like a frightful character, and she sounds like just the type that is going to try and weave
Absolutely.
destruction between us.
It's true.
Very true.
I'll say, Eric, my dad, has a great reputation in Valkyrie. He was something of an absent father to me. And while I do respect and look up to him, he was not always there. I know it's small and not as big as all the things that you guys have carrying around, but it's a start.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gray lets out a little yawn.
Speaking of the whispered litany and her trying to cause friction, great. Are you sure you know what Philippamon sounds like?
Yeah, sound like this. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. God, God, God. Worship, worship, worship. Money, money.
I mean,
Yep.
that's a fair point. But
I do think Alice has a point. So I come from, as many of you know.
It is, sorry, Sarah.
Oh.
It is 9:20.
All right, you're right. It is.
Think on your sins.
DNA roundtable backstory.
Oh man.
continue.
Favorite part coming up. No. I have 70 pages of Nazira fanfic you can all read. No, just kidding. My journal, 70 pages.
Oh, so good. But yeah, I feel that'd be a decent place to stop for the day.
I disagree, but that's fine.
Quick question for Johan. Would you like to see a list of all our goals?
How long is the list?
It's
Fairly
extended.
sizable, I think, but it might help you get a better idea of who we are.
Unfortunately, ever
What our
growing.
priorities are. There are a lot of big ones.
Sure are. It's really like the top 5, and
Yeah.
then, you know.
We can make it between sessions.
Here's a little backstory I wrote about Gray, which I will share with you in Discord. I think everyone else has already read it, but you're more than welcome to read this as he explains.
I want to hear this in Gray speak, though.
Oh, it is. It's written in Gray
Oh,
speak.
is it really?
Yeah, and it's translated into. It's like, I think it was like an article interview of Gray or something.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
I
yeah,
remember this.
Yeah, it was so good. Like a
Digging into your
And maybe we should talk about how everyone met the Big Help Gang, because I don't even know that.
That's true. Could talk about how this group came to be.
Wow.
Maybe a little context would be helpful.
Except for
Amber,
Xerox. Xerox is not invited to this party.
Yeah.
Poor Xerox.
I know.
It's their own flavors. No.
And I thought having the rot was pretty awful. Ugh.
Awesome. Having the TV and the camera up here has been really cool, at least on this side.
Yeah, it's been
Nice.
helpful.
Yeah, and like you guys have all been pretty clear and everything, and I can see your faces and
The microphone is so good. Like,
Yeah,
I think it
I think
makes
that
a
might
huge
really
difference.
help. Yeah.
yeah,
And
I
having
think
all
so
the
too.
audio and output going through the same device just cleans it up, I think, a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Well, all right, everybody. I am going to.
Nice
Oh,
talk.
hi, Shell.
Hi, Sean.
Hi.
I'm going to head off to bed for
Good
an early
idea.
morning. Good night, everybody.
Good
Night,
night.
And
Joel.
best part of the setup, the laptop isn't right here, so I can't just like slam it shut.
You can't slam it shut on us. Ha 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 ha.
Ah, the session's over.
Be this open
Yeah.
anymore. Oh,
Good
shit.
night.